Yeah, Freddie, it seemed like you guys were able to counter press effectively. It seemed like you had a lot of the ball. Was that sort of what you envisioned in this game and sort of like having to generate your own chances, or did this game really not play out how you imagined it and it got flipped on its head a little bit because of them getting out to an early lead?
No, I think that's how we envisioned it. We had the 3 game watch of their first 3 games of the year, and yeah, a little bit different St. Louis than it has been in the last 2 years, where they've been pretty stingy on defense, kind of falling back more into a mid to low block. So we knew that we were going to be able to maybe absorb. We could absorb the first few minutes of the game, the intensity. Then we knew we were going to be able to back them up with the formation that they play. They're really narrow on the front line, so you can change the point of attack, and it was going to have to be trying to break them down with good ball circulation. Good trying to create some 1v1s out wide, some 2v1s out wide. Trying to a little combination play, and of course, it's always the hardest part of the game, right? You have control. We had a large portion of the possession, and we weren't able to quite break them down.
All right, next question. We'll go over to Scott Hanson from the Seattle Times. Scott, go ahead, please.
I mean, how proud were you with the team to come out and play that hard and play that pretty that well most of the game, with so many results that happened the last week.
Yeah, fantastic mentality. I think what we talked about with the guys, and the one thing that stronger players always have, and Schmetz always preaches on, is just it's a hard-working team. We never give up, and that's the mentality. I thought the guys, my biggest, what I like about the team and what we really seen these last 4 weeks or 3 weeks of the Saturday to Wednesday is there's really no time for training. So it's the group having a light session and really taking in the info that we give them tactically. And I think that's where I've seen the team growth mostly in the last 2 years, where this game we gave Preki went over some attacking stuff that we could do for 5 minutes or so, because you obviously kind of overload them, and then we talked a little bit on how we wanted to press, and that comes out. It comes out, and you see the guys take the information and apply it on the field to for a large portion of the game. And again, it was just really the final piece. We had 15 shots, one on target. We can improve on that. We'll keep working on that. But proud on the guys. It's been a hard, few weeks of the season, but they put in a great shift. The energy, the mentality, the counter pressing, the winning second balls. A fantastic job in that regards. Not happy with the result, obviously, but happy with the performance.
Thank you.
Ma's going to go your way next. Go for it when you're ready.
Okay. Hey there, Freddie. So it looked like you did have ball circulation and you were able to kind of get on the wings 1v1. Was the lack of creative movement in the block there, no excuses somewhat, but due to lack of field work? I mean, you did a lot of video, but do you need some field work positionally to be able to do that?
That's a great question. Yeah, I mean that's the hardest part of the game. Every team struggles with that part. I mean, look at their attacking today comes off of a mistake of ours, but they weren't able to break us down. So it's tough. It's a tough part of the game. Obviously we work a little bit more. Maybe, but I thought the guys got into good spots. Maybe that final piece of a combination. Sometimes, because of their block being so compact, so close to goal, maybe we weren't daring enough to maybe put a little bit more little combination to get in behind, not necessarily combination to play in front of them, but a combination that follows up with the ball that's played behind them. Maybe a little bit more lifted balls in behind the back line, not necessarily to the wingers, but over their center backs. We didn't have enough of those. And then, you always talk about shots. If you don't shoot, you won't score. So we can definitely improve and continue to work on a little bit more finishing top of the box. Now to, what you just brought up, Maz, we can't really shoot a lot when you're going these, Wednesday to Saturday, because you risk injury of players. So you minimize that. You can talk about it, but we'll get better. We'll get now into a part of the season where we'll go Saturday to Saturday and we'll be able to get some training done throughout the week.
I mean, one more if I can.
Yeah.
Positive, the defense was positive. I mean, Steph Fry and you three backs there. There was some strong saves, some strong, knew who made some plays in the end. Can you just elaborate on the defensive part of this? effort?
Fantastic. I wish we could have, gotten the shutout. I thought the defense did enough to get a shutout. Again, the two best chances they have, one, the goal comes off a slip. The second one was in the second half when Nuhu slips as well. And to Nuhu's credit, he gets back and makes a block. But the defense was good. The collective. I'm not just talking about the back five and Fry. The collective, they put it in. We knew we were going to have to win seconds. I would say it was an overall pretty good performance from the guys. Again, unfortunate not being able to create more with the possession that we had.
Thank you.
All right, George, we're going to go your way. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Sure. Freddy, so Coach Smetzer is always talking about next man up. So how important is that on a week like today, both on the playing side and on the coaching side? And then if I can, what lessons did you guys learn from this stretch of the season where you're playing 2 games per week to when you get back to that freedom towards the middle of the season with the Club World Cup and hopefully the playoffs?
Sorry, I lost the first question.
The first question was, so the mantra for Coach Smetzer is next man up. So how helpful is that on a week like this?
Yeah, very helpful. And, there's a lot of truth to that. We had a fantastic preseason. The coaching staff, we did a good job of, working with both groups. We have a really, you've heard Schmetz talk about, having a good roster from overall roster where we can put other guys in. And today that was the message to the guys. There's no excuse, unfortunately, that we have some guys missing. This happens throughout the year through multiple teams, if not all the teams at some point of the season. And we really believe that we have a strong roster. And I think you saw that today. The group was ready. The guys that went in, fantastic. And we'll continue to do that. You'll need that throughout the year. You'll have a little bit more congestion when we get to some Leagues Cup. You'll have the World Cup tournament. We're going to need everyone at all times, and it's important that we have a roster like that, not only for when you need them, but it also brings out the day-to-day competition. To have 4 pivots that have done really well throughout the preseason and in these 7-8 games that we've had, it brings out the best of you. So I think the team is better for it. We don't talk about first team, second team. It's a group. It's a group. And whenever we need someone to step up, they're prepared to step up. And I think the team feels that, and they're confident when on their field. And I think that's what you saw today.
All right, we'll take 1 or 2 more to get everybody on the plane and home. Jeremiah, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, if you could just sort of take us inside what it was like this week, specifically, sort of with everything that happened in terms of, you guys have this, you get the news about Pedro, probably you have the game, you have these injuries, and then you have just 2 days to prepare.
Yeah, I think as a staff, you always want your whole roster available. Especially where you see in Pedro's case, you see him start playing. He's playing his best soccer. He's fit. He's creating chances. He's scoring. So you feel bad for the player individually because you want them to succeed, right? Unfortunate on the Jordan Morris and the importance of Jordan's for the team and Paul. We're missing Gaymar, missing Schmetz. So, but I think again the team is. The message has always been, and we just brought it up right now, is the next person up. And I think the group is prepared. We don't want to use those excuses. Again, every team's going to go through this throughout the year at some point, I would imagine. And what we can do and what we can take care of and control is that we're preparing every single day. And that was it. There was no, feeling bad about who we have and don't have throughout the week. This is the next group. And we'll go with this group. And here's the plan, gentlemen. And then again, we don't have the week to train. But again, what I'm most pleased, and I think the staff would all agree, is the ability to take information with the lack of field training and making sure that what we do there, that we're spot on as a staff, and the information we give them within the pregame and video and individual or line work or the group in video work that we can be clear and have clarity in what we want tactically. And I think that's what I'm most pleased because I feel the team has really grown in that regards.